Now, science and tech is where a lot of these big changes are, and I want to draw your attention to that. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for the 2022 February version of the tier list. We have a absolute ton to get to. Remember, you can always jump to the timestamps in the description if there's just a certain thing you're interested in or you're not interested in hearing. The descriptions of the categories or columns or something like that. It is Super Bowl Sunday. If you happen to see this before the Super Bowl comes out, put in your prediction for the score, the winner, and then also who you're cheering for. I think I'm going for the Bengals. Kind of like a lot about them, and my buddy TJ and my BG is a huge fan. So shout out to TJ. Let's bring all the luck we can to that team. All right. Remember, this spreadsheet will be linked in the description. You can always go to it, and I recommend you do. A lot of these links, you see them here, like let's take a look at Apocalypse, that should come up. You can go to that. That is to my playlist on my channel. It'll have either videos I have done or videos from other people I think are excellent, really help you get an understanding of the champion. And then before you rank up the champion, play them. Tier lists are very complicated to do because no champion is always better in every scenario than another. I'm giving general feedback, ideas. I'm in the alliance for Loki. I have almost all of these champions as 6 stars on my live account, and I'm also in the CCP, meaning I have the ability to go and test pretty much any champion I want whenever I want. And then additionally, because no one can know every champion, I have a full rankings team that is, I am very fortunate and lucky. I've gotten to know these players over a long period of time. A lot of them have awesome YouTube channels. If you would, do me and yourself a favor, go subscribe to their channels. I watch them so I can get better at this game. All right, as I said, we've got a lot to get to, so we're gonna jump straight into this. This is pre-12.0 Switch is our first tier. Basically, they often are just OP in the game, okay? They're just so frequently overpowered. We're gonna scroll down. There is no additions to them. You can see the rankings legends next there, so like Kitty Pryde, Awakened, Synergy, and recoil friendly masteries. You can see the legend there on the right hand side. So we'll just continue scrolling down just so you can kind of see it. I think it's nice to be able to see it, but there are no changes to that. And we do have a lot of updates to get to as the meta shifts. We will continue to update this tier list. That's part of the fun. All right, now we're getting to just, they're the best. They're just often the best on in their class. Worthy of ranking up, does not matter the size of your account. You can see Mystic has not changed much or at all, neither with Mutant. Science has not changed. I know some of you are already like, dude, where's Miguel? We'll get to that. We will get to that. All right, here's the first one I want to talk about, and that's what the little microphone icon is Fury. I know a lot of people feel like, and my buddy Nerd, he thinks so, right? The channel name is Hyena. He's on the rankings team. I know he often is like, when we go over this, when we talk about this, when I publish the tier list, he's always saying like, look what I've done. Look at the amazing things Nick Fury can do. And he is not wrong. He is absolutely right, or correct. The one thing that always holds me back is that in that second life form, your health pool does eventually drop down to, I think it was 20 or 30%, meaning one mistake and you're done. He doesn't heal back up. This isn't like Hercules with the immortality, where if you're running the recoil tree masteries, you can actually heal back up. You can go immortal, finish off the fight, start the next one, and you can start healing. That does not mean Fury is not incredible nor amazing. And if you have any questions about playing Nick Fury, go and check out that link. Nerd Hyena just put out a complete and amazing showcase on Fury. Do yourself a favor. I know if you've played him a lot, I know I've played him a lot, and there's still a lot I know I can learn about how to access his damage, keep him alive. And honestly, the cool thing is, Nerd is showing us that the first phase, he's doing tremendous damage, and you can take advantage of a lot of his utility. If any champion was going to move up to that level, I don't even want to do it because Fury, Shang-Chi, Kingpin, Mole Man are all absolutely insane. If I had more columns, they probably would be in their own separate one. But again, I want to keep this simple. I want to show how complex this game is, and I also want to show how amazing so many of these champions are. That's part of what we're trying to do here. All right, let's continue to scroll on down. And no changes in Cosmic in the top shelf class. So now we're getting to Super Premium. I know for a lot of you, if you're seeing this for the first time, you're like, dude, the third column down? Are you kidding me? That's what I'm trying to show you, is how good so many of these champions are in this game. If you are in the Super Premium column, the way you can get there is, the most frequent question I get asked is, hey, Vega, should I rank up this champion or this champion? And if my immediate reaction is yes, you go in at least the super premium column. All right. So we're going to go ahead and scroll on down here. We'll get to the first microphone, which is going to be Spider-Man 99. Miguel, I know some of you have commented, you're like, dude, why do you call him Miguel? It's because it's his name. It's like calling Miles, right? So I get it might seem awkward or different for some of you, but that's why I call him Miguel. I don't want to always call him Spider-Man 99. He is fantastic. He is amazing. I finally got to use him in War, and he just absolutely destroyed the place. He's fantastic. My buddy Strands has been putting out some awesome videos. He just started a YouTube channel. It's been really cool to watch him put those out for everyone to see. These are videos that he's been sending me and a lot of us and our group of friends for years. Excellent player. But I want to prove it myself. I want to prove Spider-Man 99 should be in top shelf. I want to use him in questing content. I want to use him in 7.3, and I have been a little bit. And I want to use him in new solo mode, which I actually have been. He's been awesome there. And I want to be able to show that to you. I kind of want to prove it to myself. Because whether it's the top shelf or super premium, it's not like it's going to hurt his feelings. I think we all know he's great. If you ask me about it, I'll go into depth on what he can do. I do enjoy his power control. Fluffy Pig Monsters pointed out to me how great his physical vulnerability can be off of the SP1. He's got all those ruptures. I enjoy playing him. His moveset is very, very clean. He's awesome. I think he's kind of on that border for me, top shelf, super premium. I just want to, because I have the champion, I have a rank 4, I have him at SIG 200. I want to use him more before I put him up into the top shelf category. And I kind of want to continue doing things without the anti-venom synergy. Anti-venom's fine. We can get to maybe talking about him a little bit. I don't have the microphone next to him. I think he's a good champion, but I do think you're using up a space when you're bringing him along. So I want to continue using Spider-Man 99 without the anti-venom synergy. And if you're curious what that looks like, go to that playlist. You will see at my rank 4, I used him in War without the anti-venom synergy. He still just rocks the place. He's awesome. He's awesome. So moving on down, we get to Mr. Negative. I've had the opportunity to use Mr. Negative a little bit more in the standard fights, I guess is what I want to say. Like I used him to kill a Mojo boss early in this season, meaning I wasn't going to be able to stun. I wasn't going to be able to use my heavy to transfer my light energy to dark energy. These are things you're obviously wanting to do with him. And he was still amazing. He was still awesome. And then because of the new Battlegrounds mode, I've been able to access being in the CCP and things like that. I've been using him a lot. And that battle mode, and we'll talk about that more in this, and we'll probably talk about it in a trending video soon, I think is going to completely transform how we look at some champions. And I think he's going to be one of them. I think he's going to be one of them because he is so good. Good across a variety of matchups. And that's a really, really big deal. I could see him potentially moving even higher depending on how important the Battlegrounds mode ends up becoming for all of us. Then Overseer is the next one. Boy, was I wrong. And, folks like B McG, right? Another great YouTube channel. Chuck, frequent commenter, awesome dude. So many of you were telling me like, no, Overseer is very good. I think just a month ago, he was in the premium, maybe even a little bit lower. And I was like, no, he needs the super high SIG. You got to do this. You got to do that. And even then, why do you? And I will admit, I just fundamentally, I just made up a word, misunderstood how his cosmic mode worked and how his signature ability tied into it all. Used him to absolutely destroy a mob boss. And what was cool about it was it caused me to dive pretty deep into his ability set to the point where me and B McG actually talked to the designer of Overseer, the champion designer, and we're like, hey, wait, this is actually how the cosmic mode works, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, it is. Go and check out that video. I will not be able to, in this video, tell you everything that's in that video. This would take way too long. Go to that playlist, check it out. I've linked to B McG's video in there too. Check it out. It's my full review on Overseer. He is very good. He's not just nullify immune. He is getting stronger when those abilities fail, when those nullifies and things like that fail. So I think a lot of us had it wrong. We thought he was just like a cool, maybe he's immune to these things. That's great. No, it's actually powering him up. And the more complex this game gets, there's more opportunities to use him. And he has a secondary source of damage. You can tell I'm very, very excited about that champion. I'm actually quite happy to have him at rank 3 at a very high SIG now. Now, Science and tech is where a lot of these big changes are, and I want to draw your attention to that. We just went through science, so you can kind of see that there, where they're at and the new icons and things like this. And we're gonna get to tech. There was a lot of shifting in tech, and that has to do with just the shifting meta. And I think us also diving into what do these tech champions actually do. Some of them don't jump off the screen at us when we're testing them with CCP members. Some of them do. Like, I was very early on Nimrod. I've been on Nimrod for months now. I've been putting out videos telling you guys this is how good this guy is. But often it takes a lot of the community to get them in the featured pool, in the featured crystal, pull them and be like, holy smokes, they're dominating content for me. Nimrod, I've been calling him the tech torch for a long time, and it wasn't like some sort of clickbait. That was literally, he destroys mutants, but anytime there's also prowess or healing, he is rocking it. He's been placed on defense for me, Alliance War defense, but DLL has been absolutely destroying things with him. I think Strands has too. It's been really, really cool to see. Check out that playlist. You can see my videos in there. And then also, like I said, check out the rankings team. You'll become a better player. I know it's helped me out significantly. Nebula. Actually, she will have a link when this goes up. Nebula will have a link so you can get to that playlist. Campo, again, on the rankings team, has been absolutely destroying war with her. Really complex fights. And then, not to toot my own horn, right? Let's toot Nebula's here, I guess. That came out oddly. But the fact of the matter is she is fantastic. She is awesome. She is better than I realized. And I was able to utilize her recently to take out a Weapon X defender in the Battlegrounds mode against none other than the best player in the game, Legacy. She's fantastic. She's awesome. I've really come around, and I'm very glad I have her at rank 3. All those immunities, the power control on top of the potential for massive damage. And I've also seen her healing come into play multiple times. Fights from Psycho Billy, shout out to him in my BG. His ability to beat a Weapon X on an extremely difficult fight, and her healing was helpful in that, but he also played it like a champ. Nice job, man. We'll continue on down. War Machine, more Campo, showing how great War Machine can be, and I believe MU8 has a rank 3, and I have that video in there too. As the prowess becomes more and more of a thing, and we've just seen that with Toad and Sauron, and Kabam continues to introduce that as something for us to handle. War Machine's value will only increase because he handles it so well. He has plenty of damage to in his kit that he can access, right? And then, of course, the pre-fights that he can add on for himself or other tech champions. That's just a nice addition. He's a quality champion without those things. Mysterio has a microphone only because I want to point out that he moved down, and it really has nothing to do with how good he is. In fact, we have him with that synergy designation, and that means that ranking is dependent on him having Penny Parker on the team, right? That makes a big difference. And I know some of you will be like, well, wait, you have Cable up so high, right? Cable's terrible without Apocalypse. That is true. But a lot of this is meant to reflect the difference in the value between Apocalypse and Penny Parker. Apocalypse is honestly one of the best champions in the game. Penny Parker is very good, but she's not Apocalypse level, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. So I just wanted to reflect that, and it's also a reflection on these other tech champions moving up. I'm seeing that I also miss Silver Centurion. He's great, guys. I put out a video a while on him. He is significantly better than I thought he was. His ability to do damage and have it turn into the passive so you can handle champions like Mole Man, I think you're going to continue to see him rise, especially with the Battlegrounds mode. I've been using him frequently because he just handles so many problems well. And what I mean by that is, like, if we'll just think about it very simply, if he handled, there's a problem that's presented and he handles it like an 8. Well, in the way the game was, because you could only have 5 champions on your attack team, or 3 in war, or 3 in AQ, you wanted, whatever problem you were going to face, you wanted champions that were 9 or 10 at a minimum. And it didn't matter if they were weak in other places or whatever, because they were 9s or 10s and they could destroy that problem you were facing. But you knew you were facing that problem. And I think as a result, all these really well-rounded, great, very good, great champions. I mean, I've had them in Super Premium for a long time. But these champions that people were easily looking over, like Silver Centurion, I think they are going to continue to rise as the battle mode, the battleground mode continues to come in. I'm going to try to talk about that a little bit less, save it a little bit for a trending video coming out probably this next week. Let's go ahead and scroll on down. That was really the big, massive changes. We have, I think, a few more with some new entries and things like that. but those were the big ones. So now we're getting on to premium. I got a cool suggestion from a listener, comment on him. I'm sorry, I've already forgotten your name. I'd taken a screenshot for it. You know, screw it. I can edit this out, and I want to give people credit. I got this great suggestion from William Lacoste that I can start providing explanations down in type. I'm going to start trying to work that in, but premium means, you asked me the R3 question, and I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it first, because I don't want you to regret this if you pull some of these other champions. But these champions are very worthy of rank 3, and let's get into it, because there's a lot. Mojo, someone who I definitely can see Battleground mode continue to increase their value, but he is a fantastic champion. Anytime the buff is not, anytime the buff has a duration, he's going to absolutely destroy that for you. The defender's buff, the buff coming off the node, something like that, has a duration, he is fantastic. I believe I will maybe ranking mine up to rank 3 and using an awakening gem on him. That's how much I like him. I've been tempted to do it anyway, and in case you can't tell, I'm very excited about the Battleground mode. I could see myself doing that not too far from now. As an example, or as proof, as evidence, Man-Thing. I just took him to rank 3. I don't think he's as good as, I know he's not as good as the champions in top shelf. But he can do a lot. He has the ability to place those pustules on the defender. If you're running max mystic dispersion, he can really get ramped up. I just took him to rank 3. As soon as I get enough time, I'm gonna get a video out on him. If you're curious about him now, go into that playlist, and MP Blaze has been using him in tier 1 war. Blaze is like one of the best players in this game. He's been using Man-Thing in tier 1 war, not just champions like Silver Surfer, but also champions like Weapon X. Check it out. It's very cool stuff. All right, let's go ahead and continue to scroll on down, get to Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham is someone who I demoted him a few months ago. It might be more than just a couple now. He might be on his way back up. I said I'd stop talking about the battlegrounds, but the fact of the matter is he's not exact. He still has a niche use, even if you already have Mr. Negative, Overseer, and Spider-Man 99. He still has a use. And I think I may have overstated how much he did not have a use if those other champions came into your roster. I could see him moving back up. I love him. I've been putting videos out on him for an extremely long time. If you have him, go check that out. Do yourself a favor. He's a fantastic champion. He's not just a novelty. That is for absolutely sure. He's a lot of fun to play too. The flow on him is fantastic. Let's go ahead and continue on down. The next entrant, the next champion we have to talk about specifically in this video is Kang. I know more people got him now thanks to the gifting event, which was cool. It's cool when more and more folks can get opportunities to get these champions. He needs that synergy, right? That's why he's got the synergy icon there. But it's pretty good once he's got that synergy, and the synergy is with an excellent champion. When this video goes live, I will have updated the playlist because there is a YouTube channel called Jason Jabari Gaming. It is another person I know. He's a great player and a great alliance, SSX. Shout out to them. Jay Will. I will link actually probably just his channel, or maybe one of the best videos or the most thorough he's done on Kang. He's done quite a few. They're very impressive. If you've got a Kang and you've got your Apocalypse, you definitely want to check that out, because Kang becomes a pretty quality champion, and obviously very fun to use in content. Let's go ahead and continue on down. I think the next one we're going to get to is Terrax. I actually just recently, this isn't spoiling, I just recently took Terrax to rank 3 myself. Obviously, he's valuable as a defender, again, Battlegrounds, but also, and I remember testing him when his buff first came out, and I really liked it. I enjoyed playing him. He's got some nice synergies with champions I enjoy, but also there's something else that's happened that I think is increasing his value to a roster, things like that. He is basically power manipulation immune. I don't remember all of them. It's like drain and steal and all that stuff from any metal champion. And at the time I was like, well, that's cool. It's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to fight him with Doom. But now that we have champions like Penny Parker in the game, who is metal, I think there's more and more of a use for him. These things, it doesn't make him the best cosmic in the game, but it's something that can increase his value. It's taking an already good champion, and then a problem has been created, and now there's more places you can use him. I think he's very good, especially if you start getting that SIG up. That's why we've got it with the Awakened ability and the SIG the SIG being valuable as it increases designations there. Cersei, if you've been watching my channel long enough, you know I like Cersei. I think she can do a lot of things. The healing can be quite good. The ability to go unblockable, as my boy Campo is constantly pointing out in videos. Check it out. I have a couple of videos too, but DLL and Campo have her. They both really, really like her, feel like there's some solid uses. And so if you've pulled her recently, go check out this playlist. You can see my thoughts on it, but they have her. They've ranked her up even more. Check out their videos. Check out their videos. You'll learn how to use her in places where you might not have already thought about using her. All right, and now, oh, did I skip over? I did. I skipped over Toad. So now we'll get to Toad. I'm looking at my notes, and that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign, because Toad and Sauron, we'll just get into it. So here's the thing with Toad. I mean, if you've pulled him, I think he's a fine champion. In fact, I liked him when testing significantly more than I thought I was going to. I have suicide friendly, nice healing capabilities if you play him a certain way specifically. And then the ability to place the poisons. He's definitely a problem defender. And so that's, again, someone that you're going to want to have on your roster as you're approaching these the battlegrounds or something like that. He's nicely handled, though, by Nimrod, but not everyone has a Nimrod. I like him. I thought with the his prowess build up, he could start doing some nice damage too, especially if he started critting. But that's the case with a lot of mutants, and there's just so many good mutants. So if you got him and you like him, yeah, I think you can rake him up, especially if you're running the recoil tree. But if you're not, you know, maybe he gets tuned up or something like that. All right, now we're on to the call, which is basically, this is just the baseline for ranking champions, right? They can do a job, either they can just do a job exceptionally well, like America Chavez. She can reverse champion power gain, really, or ability power gain exceptionally well. She's got some other nice stuff going on, but that's why you would bring her in, right? Or Ronin, if there's a lot of buffs, that kind of thing. So this is like the baseline, the minimum for ranking a champion up, unless they're going to get buffed. And the only champion here that we're going to talk about today, okay, and then Sauron. You know, I felt like you almost had to run the recoil tree masteries when I was playing him. His damage just felt very lacking without it. Obviously the prowess, there's really some nice defensive abilities in there with him. And there was definitely some cheese options. I remember if it was like the caltrops lane, things like that. If more things like that come in the game, then I don't think it's just cheese, it's just a part of his kit, but it felt a little bit like cheese, like a little bit overpowered. That wasn't necessarily intentional. It just happened to be a cool coincidence or something like that. I think he's lacking. I think he's someone who could be up for a buff, and you know, hopefully they get to it if you've pulled him, and hopefully they get to it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I always loved making this video. Try to move through the champions pretty quickly, and then let's go ahead and take a look at the screenshot. And then if you've jumped directly to the screenshot, do me a solid. Hit like, hit subscribe, maybe even throw a comment in there just saying like, dude, thanks for the screenshot. I'd really, really appreciate it. I do understand why some of you just come directly to this, and I do hope it is helpful. Just to make it clear, Medusa is actually in the Super Premium. She should be right there underneath Venom Pool. And then Super Scroll and Black Bolt are in Call. They should just be beneath Airwalker. This is just something I needed to do to make the whole spreadsheet fit into one screenshot. And then always hit me up in the comment section. I learn a lot about this. I enjoy chatting with you all in the comment section. It is always an absolute blast. Let me know what you think. I know there's some pretty big changes in tech and science, but it reflects honestly how I feel about their value, the rank up viability of these champions in the game as it currently stands. And it's already been run through the whole rankings team, and we've had a lot of conversations about it. But let us know. I'm always open to learning more. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.